Hello and welcome everyone. We are back with a new segment of the show. Well, not really a new segment, just a now named segment. The little preamble I do before the start of a video. I've decided to call this little preamble my pre-talk, Mr. Talk's pre-talk. That's what we're going to call it. And as always, if you'd like to skip this part, you can check out the chapter tabs in the description below. So yeah, in this pre-talk, I just want to shout out my video I recently put out, why I recommend you watch Undead Unluck. It's a little rant video of why I think like Undead Unluck is underappreciated and some of the points as to why I think people should watch it. It actually came out in place of my Who is Victor video that I was planning to do. I'll probably put it out maybe this week, but I'll just have to see how far I can get in editing that video. It's a pretty short video, so it shouldn't take too long, so hopefully I will get it out to you by maybe Thursday or Friday. But a video I will guarantee coming to you, well, not really a video, but a live stream. I'm going to do another tier list. It's going to be based on the rules of Undead Unluck. I'll get into specifics of what criteria I'm ranking the rules on in that live stream. But yeah, if you want to come through and get your input in, it's going to be on Saturday, sometime on Saturday. I suggest you subscribe to know when I actually go live. I haven't got a specific time planned. But yeah, if you'd like to get your input into that tier list about the rules of Undead Unluck, yeah, hit the subscribe button and get notified when I go live. And if you don't want to watch the entire live stream, I will be shortening it down into a smaller video like I did with my last tier list video, so look out for that as well. So now that we've gotten this pre-talk out the way, let's get straight into the chapter review. Okay, so we're here with chapter 211, and the title of this chapter is Unchaste, and we actually start off with a flashback of the previous loop. So this is back when Fuuko was actually still with Under, and chronologically to the timeline, this scene should be taking place about after chapter 72, because they're talking about unchaste ability and how it doesn't work on people who already have someone they really like, and they make a point to note that it doesn't work on Fuuko. So obviously that scene where Kururu tried to use unchaste on Fuuko and it just didn't work has already transpired. And this is a cool scene because it's nice to see what the actual dynamic was like in Under whilst Fuuko was there. We didn't really get to see much of it. And it seems like she built up a pretty nice relationship with the girls there. And this is a nice dynamic that Undead Unluck brings to the table because although we have a lot of antagonists, not a lot of them are necessarily like completely bad people. Actually, a lot of them are good people and they're just trying to fight for like similar causes but just in different ways. And it's up to us, the reader, really, to decide the morality of their actions. And like a prime example of this is like Bunny in this scene, man. Like she was a major antagonist to us, but she's just like a cute little like teddy bear basically. Like that's how Fuuko's holding her as. She's just like an innocent little kid in all of this, and Kururu is just trying to be an idol. I mean, even Latla just wants to find a way to be with her sister again. None of these guys are really bad people inherently. But anyway, in this scene, they also mention that people who have never been in love, Unchaste works on them as well. And quite interestingly, in Under, the only person that it's worked on was Teller. Now we straight away go into another flashback, but at a different time period. In fact, only a few days ago when they were training for this idol concert. Fuuko's explained why she chose those specific members to participate in this quest. Most of them won't be affected by unchaste ability. Rip's happily married, Billy's happily married and the father of one, and I'm assuming Shen has love for Moi, so he won't be affected as well. And hilariously, Teller's being used as a control here. Basically, since he would be affected, they're going to use him to know when unchaste ability is actually manifested. Now we head back to the festival, and it seems like Kade has noticed something strange about Kururu. She says that's not the Kururu she knows, and then Kururu lets out a death metal screech, and it seems like Unchaste has manifested, because we get the ability's name in the big bold text like it usually is when it's activated. But then we see the backing members of Unison running towards Kururu in order to help her out on stage. Remember what I was saying before in the last chapter review about how they kind of look like a more hard metal kind of band? Well, they basically are that now that they're backing for Kururu, who's leaned in heavily into death metal. Sean and Fuuko are utterly shocked because Unchaste was not supposed to work on Billy, Rip, and Shen. We briefly head over to the master room, and it turns out Soul has shared some of his power with Kururu in order to evolve Unchaste's ability. Kade attempts to get close to Kururu to find out why she's acting so strange, but Rip just holds her off. But Kururu does come up to Kade and lets her know what she really feels. She says she finally has a chance to fight her, and that she's always wanted to know what Kade has that she doesn't. So yeah, this just confirms that Kururu is just jealous of Kade in some way. I was kind of holding out hope in the end of my last video that maybe we're just misunderstanding Kururu and she actually is friends still with Kade, and that maybe she was just going to be used by Soul, that her enchant ability will just find a way to kill Fuuko somehow. But yeah, all that is out the window now with this scene. She is definitely kind of in cahoots with Soul. I don't know if they've talked directly, maybe. But yeah, Kururu is definitely not on our side. So Karuru says that she's done losing to Kade and she'll prove it in the finals. Kade's still kind of shocked, saying what does she mean by she's done losing? And Karuru has a small line saying that Kade still hasn't caught on yet. And I'm wondering, is this really just about talent, raw singing talent, or is there something deeper? Because like Karuru says, she wants to know what Kade has that she doesn't, and she has it now. I'm thinking it might relate to a negation ability. I think Kade may have some sort of negation ability that does make her such a great singer, and that maybe Karuru did talk to Soul, and that's how she found out what she didn't have that Kade does have. And now she knows she has her own negation ability that's been upgraded with Soul's help. She will be able to take on Kade now. But back to the chapter, we see Latla and Billy's wife just jump in and start assaulting them. Latla comes in with a double flying knee to the back of Rip's head straight into the ground. Billy's wife has pulled up with the shotgun and has him dead to rights. And we have a small box with Moi and Shen, and it's kind of a cute scene because she's not like completely outright with it, but you can obviously tell that she's not happy with him. But yeah, Latla is completely laying into Rip. And we find out that this is Moo's handiwork. He teleported Latla and Billy's wife to the concert. He says that he finds it funny, and I can't lie, it is pretty funny seeing them get slapped around like this. It's like an episode of Jerry Springer going on right now. Fuuko manages to break them up and then asks Billy and Rip where they first met Karuru. Rip replies with France in her yard, and Billy replies with on the battlefield as an opposing merc. So it seems Unchaste's ability has evolved to the point where it's even able to manipulate people's memories. We even get Shen answering, saying that he met Karuru at her family restaurant in China. This is kind of just a subtle confirmation that the person he loves the most right now is probably Moi, which is probably a no-brainer anyway. Fuuko begins to worry now that if her dad sees Unchaste in the final performance, that Karuru will steal away his love for Kade. But Kade just tells Fuuko to don't worry and leave it to her. She says she's an idol and that she won't be losing to Karuru, and she has a sort of aura around her now, and she's exuding confidence, something we haven't actually seen in her before. Latla even notes that Fuuko's fading is seeming to subside a bit. And could this be Fuuko's soul having kind of a resonance with her mother's soul that is ramping up right now? Because now we know that it's not a paradox issue, it's like a soul vessel issue. It's not going to fully fix her, but half of the union that Fuuko needs to fix her vessel, its soul energy is ramping up, causing kind of like a seal over her vessel breaking at the moment. Now the time for the finals has come, and whilst the announcer is announcing the competitors, we go back to Fuuko's father, and Sean is keeping an eye on him. He seems to be drawing up something. He's working avidly at it, and he's smoking up a storm in his room again. We don't get to see what he's working on, but I'm sure it'll be relevant very soon in this arc. And now the final scene of this chapter are both competitors coming out onto the stage. Kade again has a new backing crew, filled with Moi, Latla, Julia, and Fuuko. And we have Karuru on the other side with the former members of Unison. Seems like it's ramping up to be 2 performances for the ages, and that's where the chapter ends off. Now that was an interesting chapter, and I guess we'll call this end section of the video now a post-talk. And the first thing I want to bring up is that it seems like this is all going according to plan for Karuru. Starting off with taking out Kade's backing band, she was now able to steal the members of whoever would replace them. It was probably anticipated by Soul that Union members would be used to replace her backing band. Because I was thinking it was kind of weird, like defo they had to be a part of getting rid of Kade's backing band, but that would just make them not able to participate in the festival, which would like go against like the whole plan of getting them there so they could kill Fuuko. But yeah, it was actually in order to take over some of the Union members this way. And that leads me to another point. How far has Karuru's ability actually grown? Is she actually able to choose her targets now? Because not like everyone in the crowd bum rushed her like before. It doesn't seem like everyone was totally captivated with her. Maybe she's evolved it to the point where she can control like the degree of how much someone is captivated by her. But I'm not sure. Maybe we just need to find out what the new condition for Unchaste is in this loop. Because even someone like Teller, who was affected by her in the last loop, is still affected by her in this loop as well. And although it didn't work on like a person like Billy last time, it also didn't work on Fuuko last time. So what makes her special to be able to resist Unchaste? Unless it's like I said, she's able to choose how much someone is captivated by her. But why would she leave Fuuko out if she could choose to make her captivated by her? Yeah, with this new evolution of Unchaste, we've got a lot more questions to ask now. But feel free to let me know what you think about this new evolution of Unchaste. What kind of abilities does she have now with it? Also, if you have any idea of what Fuuko's dad might be cooking up, let me know, because I really can't think of much other than like a really cool fan poster or something to show up in the crowd. But that's all I have for this video. Thank you for watching if you made it all the way here, and I'll see see you later.